I'm bigging up again, probably the healthiest pastry, Phyllo pastry. You get it in the supermarkets by going puff pastry or short crust pastry. It is delicious, but you'll quite easily go high on saturated fats, okay? And by using Phyllo pastry, much lower. It's delicate. What I do is get a little damp cloth, clean of course, and then I just kind of cover it like that. If you don't do that, it will get dry, it will start breaking up. We don't want that. So we are gonna make these very simple, quite glorious little nests of golden Phyllo pastry. We get a tray. I like to use a little bit of greaseproof paper, a little olive oil spritzer, or drizzle of oil. We're gonna grab 2 sheets. Every time I use it, I put the damp cloth back. I'm literally just gonna fold it up. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go. Make yourself a little nesty hole in the middle, and we will repeat. Just get stuck in. Don't take it too seriously. There you go. So with the leftover Phyllo pastry, just roll it up. It's good in the fridge for a day. You can use it for something else. Now, beans. Okay, let's flavour up these tinned beans in the most beautiful way. I'm using haricot beans. What I want is to pour away the juice. And then we go straight into here. So a nice tablespoon of harissa goes in, and immediately those beans are gonna taste a whole world different. Now, in that lovely chili paste, there's things like paprika, there's garlic, really, really delicious. Now, I've got another little tip, tomato puree. It's actually a really handy way of getting more of your fruit and veg in your diet. About a heaped tablespoon is 2 portions of veg because it's so concentrated. So I'm gonna put 2 heaped tablespoons in here. This is a teaspoon, so forgive that. And that's gonna give incredible flavor and get more veggies into our diet. So, a pinch of salt, a pinch of pepper, and a secret ingredient to make beans really, really good is a tiny little thimble of vinegar. A little bit makes all the difference. These beans are going into these nests here. They're gonna taste amazing. So get all of that lovely flavour in there. Make a little well in the middle, push the beans up the sides. If they spill out a bit, it doesn't matter. So nice free-range egg goes in here. And if a bit of egg spills out like that, don't stress it, it's all good. Egg number 2. Salt and pepper. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that oil to let these sesame seeds stick to the pastry. Sesame seeds, like full of incredible heart-healthy fats. We love that. So, last ingredient, a trusty friend of deliciousness, cheddar cheese. And just have a little grate. In the oven they go at 200 degrees Celsius, which is 400 Fahrenheit. I give these 10 minutes, and then I go in there and see if it's cooked to my liking. If you want the eggs cooked through, go another 5 minutes. So I want something that is really kind of crunchy and delicious and nutritious. Salsas are a fantastic way to do that. So peppers. What I'm also going to do is hero a herb, dill. Super underrated. Brilliant herb, and it's really tasty. This is the easiest salsa that you can do. I've got the yellow pepper here as well. And then I've got some spring onions here. The stalks of the dill, leaving the lovely herbs for later. So chop, get it from really chunky. Season it up. Salt, pepper. We're gonna take these beautiful herbs. And then 2 tablespoons of nice vinegar, red or white wine, goes in. and then a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, which will bring it together and make it absolutely delicious. It smells lovely. Have a little look at that. So let's plate one up. Come on, look at this. It's like a beautiful crown of eggy, beany, cheesy goodness. Let's get some of that salsa. Let's get stuck in and have a little try. You should get a nice little crunch. Yes. And look at that oozy beans coming out. Tomatoes, harissa, spice, beans, creamy, oozy, crunch. Let's go for the eggs. Bit of salsa action. Fragrant, tangy, herby. It's so flipping delicious. I'm gonna show you how to make this delicious thing. It's like a little gift from me to you. It is like a spongy bagel with crispy sausage, and in the hole, there's a beautifully coddled egg, bursting with joy, and a little bit of cheese, a little bit of sauces, and that is a thing of joy. Now, this very technical recipe that's been developed over a lot of hours is, how can we say? It's one of those dishes that you use when you've been studying really hard in the library all night and you get home a little bit worse for wear and you need something. You've got the munchies, right? So I'm gonna make it real time, cold pan. I've just got a pan up. I've got a lid for the pan. You could use a tray or tin foil. Put it on a medium-low heat. I have a bagel. Of course you can use some regular, like, you know, bun or toast. Just cut a little hole in the middle, right? Or rip it. Like the bagel, I'm gonna take a little vulnerable sausage, a nice sausage. The better the sausage, the better it will be. Just gonna squeeze the sausage out of the skin like that and squeeze it or push it onto the top of the bagel. I know what you're thinking, is it worth it? Yes, it's worth it. What we're gonna do is stick sausage to bagel, and thus doing that, create a vessel that can contain egg. I can't mention anything really positive in nutrition in this at all. There's no veg, there's no dairy. It's just protein and carbohydrates and sauce, which means vinegar and sugar, but it will put a smile on your face. So there is always a recipe for everything, and this is definitely that. So in the pan, we're gonna go. So that will just heat up. Press your bagel down. Notice that I'm washing my hands. Hygiene's very important in this recipe. What we're gonna start doing is rendering the fat from the sausage. As it renders, it will go golden and delicious and crispy. So, you can use your ears. Hear that in the distance? Frying. Now, what you might be thinking is, as you look at that vulnerable bagel sitting there in the pan, is that hole big enough? So if you need to expand the hole, you can just pinch it with your thumbs, right? And press down. So can you see how I've made that hole bigger? Beautiful. So what we've created is a sausage encased bagel vessel, and that vessel will hold this lovely egg. I've washed my hands. I can take that bagel and I can just rub it up against the side. This is very fun. Egg is going to be cracked artistically into the middle. Look at that. I know what you're thinking. Genius. Why couldn't I have thought of that? Well, it took me hours. 35 years of cooking, and this is where we've got to, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to put now a little bit of water in the pan, right? And if you happen to be having a beer, a little bit of beer isn't a problem. I don't know why you'd have a beer at 2 in the morning, but if you happen by luck to have one in your hand, you just go, oof, like that. But you can see what we've done here. We've created steam. That steam is going to soften the bun and kind of create this humidity that starts to coddle the top of our egg. It's going to be a beautiful thing. If you're enjoying this, then please click the like button and give us some love. And don't forget to subscribe. Oh, and remember to turn on that notification bell so you know what's happening. Now, back to the recipe. So at this point in this challenging recipe, I'm going to take some cheese that I found locally in the fridge. So I'm going to take half of that cheese and plug that hole. Then get a little fish slice, get under the sausage and a nice confident little flip like that. And then on that beautiful golden sausage, we can add some of the rest of this cheese. And then pat that down. And we're going to cook that on a low heat for about 3 or 4 minutes. So this is nearly there. Let's serve up. Now, if you're going to serve up, go big or go home. Get yourself some sauce. Normally at 2 in the morning, I can't really think what sauce to have because it's a big decision, isn't it? Do you go brown or do you go red or do you go mustard? Who knows? You could do all three, of course. I'm always feeling a little bit romantic at night, so a nice little heart is what I'm going for. Just bejeweled with brown sauce because I can. So now, the moment of truth. Gas off. You could of course do a few of these at a time. Serve it up to your favourite person of all the years cooking. That is what I give to you. You might think I've gone completely mad, but there is a logic to this mighty recipe. This is a public service recipe because it might not be Michelin star, but what you do get is crispy golden pork sausage in a bouncy steamed bagel with oozy egg cooked to your liking and oozy cheese with crispy bits, plus a little bit of sauce. Time to get in there. Oh, let's go for the quarter. I'm not suggesting that you would share this with anyone. No. But what I am suggesting is you can pick up this little bit of magic. That is just a perfect little equation of deliciousness. Dreamy, dreamy, dreamy. It's utterly delicious, it's eccentric. It is delicious though.
Let me show you one of the simple and delicious recipe. Uova in purgatory. What uova in purgatory means? Eggs in purgatory. Because the red of a tomato resembles a flame. The garlic is the spice of everything. And the eggs are the angels, which they all cook all together. Then in the pan. There it goes. Look how simple is that. A good olive oil, if it's possible. Just put them inside, don't be afraid. Look at that beauty. Then a crushed garlic. Look at that beauty. Just get a lovely flavor. Do you know what? I can cook without a flame. But why I got this flame behind it when I could cook without a flame? I think I'm going to put it back. Little bit to warm it up a little bit. And I'm going to finish off here. Because you will see what I'm talking about. And the simplicity to make it. Go on, gadget. Again, you cut all this tomato, you just put them in. Look, there is no gas, there is no fire so underneath, they all went in. Fantastical. Just put a little bit of water inside. Put it back and let the heater start to melt those beautiful tomatoes. In the meantime, I'm going to pick the basil. You don't have to get crazy. Just put them inside. Look how happily they cook them all together. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. If you don't have a very sweet, cherry tomato or other tomato, you can use Tin's tomato. Even passata will do it. But look how simple it is. 3 ingredients. Put it back and good luck. This is like shashuka. You know, they make them in many different countries. Some they use onions, some they use pepper as well, always in a base of a tomato. Some put a little bit of chili inside. Some is just these massive tins of a tomato, which is nothing wrong. And they crack the eggs, but it's good because you can have for breakfast, you can make it for lunch, and you can make it for dinner. So it's perfect. This is what we call them a purgatory. The fire is the hell. And the purgatory is where the soul, they stand by for a few years or perhaps a few months, and then are removed from there, and they go in paradise. Exactly the same with this one. At the moment, this is a purgatory, but when I finish up, I remove it, and there will be paradise. You make it, you will enjoy it. While it's cooking, why don't you click the like button? And you know what? Subscribe it. Oh, and turn on the bell. That will ring in and you will love it. Promise you, we love you. Oh, yes. 1 egg. Beautiful. 2 egg. Beauty. Ah, yes. Just a little bit of black pepper on top. Just a little touch, because the eggs as well. Just a little bit more salt. Just a little touch, little touch, little touch. Now I have to go back on the fire again. Fantastico. Lids on. In the meantime, get some lovely bread. Just cut it like this way. Now with your hands, cut them in pieces. Like this, look. Because what we're gonna do scarpetta. This is the way we eat egg in purgatory, or in purgatorio. Very rustic way. Ready. Oh my gosh. And this is what I'm talking about. Look at this one. Look at this, look at that. Oh my goodness me, just a little bit. This. Oh my God. So simple, you can do it. Tomato, basil and garlic. That's what it was. Crack the eggs inside when they're ready. And hallelujah! Try to make it. It's easy, it's good. Breakfast in the morning, perfect. Very healthy as well. Lunch, very light. Dinner, very light. I'm sorry, but I'm starving. Arrivederci!
I'm going to show you how to make beautiful French toast, but I'm going to give it a massive twist. We're going savory, not sweet, and I'm thinking breakfast, brunch, lunch, a snack. This is a dish that makes me so happy because it's easy, it looks amazing, and people just love it. What we're going to do is go with the normal kind of eggy French toast vibe. So I've got some lovely free-range eggs here. Look at these gorgeous colours. Then I've got some crumpets. Now you can use white or brown bread, but actually crumpets are amazing. And the thing I love about these is the holes. And the question is, what goes in the holes? So I'm going to put 1 egg into a bowl. As usual, a little pinch of pepper, but I'm going to spice it up with a little chili. So finely sliced, just a teaspoon, that's all you need. They will go into the holes of the crumpet and give you a little surprise. In we go with the chili. So I'm going to show you how to make this for 1, but of course you can times it by 2, 3, 4. We'll grab our crumpet, and if you look at the texture of that, it's spongy, it's got the holes. That will go in to that egg. So just move that around and let that just soak up all the beautiful chili egginess. Now, I want to get a pan on a medium-high heat. And then I want 2 lovely rashers of smoked bacon or pancetta, right? So you've got the lovely savory crispiness. And we'll get it in the pan and we'll let the natural fat render out. And that will be the beginning of flavor to cook the beautiful crumpet in. So as that comes up to the heat, I want to show you the best little hack ever. The best little hack, right? Get yourself a liquidizer, get yourself a jar of regular jalapenos in, jalapenos? I don't know how to say it properly, but you know what I mean, jalapenos. Get yourself a regular jar of jalapenos in vinegar, right? Put the whole thing in your liquidizer. Grab yourself a little half bunch of mint. Mint and chili are best friends. Simply rip off the top like that, okay? So you can keep those stalks for boiling potatoes or whatever you want. Go in with the mint, just put the lid on and simply wazz it up. Noisy, but immediately we've got a little salsa that we can use on all kinds of cooking. Look at the color of it, it's brilliant. But also we can pour it back into the jar, whack it in the fridge, and that is a brilliant thing. So, cheat salsa, done. Let's turn the lovely bacon. The important thing here is the fat has come out, and that'll be the thing that flavors our lovely French toast crumpet. The twist in the tail is Parmesan, right? You can use cheddar cheese if you want, but get a fine grater and do long strokes into a pan, just a little bit bigger than the crumpet itself, right? Then go in with our amazing crumpet on top of the cheese. The little bit of leftover egg we can put on there like that. Let me show you the quickest, easiest little kind of salad ever. Just a couple of little tomatoes, avocado, run your knife around it, click it out, a nice ripe one. So just slice up a quarter of that avocado, and I'm gonna dress that with a tiny pinch of salt, a little bit of lemon juice or lime, kiss of olive oil, tiny bit. If you want to put a few more herbs through there, so we can go just a few leaves with the mint. So look, you can see this is at about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes, right? But what I want to do, and be confident with this, and even if you do it wrong, it doesn't matter, right? Because it's still going to be delicious. I use a palette knife just to push. Can you see how the melted cheese just starts to move? Like a little skirt. Get this under and pull it up. As you pull it up, this happens, right? Come and have a little look. Right, that's what I call a crown. This is the funkiest, coolest French toast ever. You literally let it cool for 20 seconds and then just gently turn it over, right? For me, this is what brunch is about. It's like being interesting, not boring. The only thing I like to do now is just crack a little egg into here as an optional. Little pinch of pepper. So let's serve this up because this is really good fun. So look at that. Here is our royal French toast with a crown. So I'll whack that onto a plate. I've got the smoky bacon cooking here. And again, as that cools down, it'll kind of stay set in that round kind of shape. I'll just dress the avocado, mint and tomatoes like that. With the egg, it's been very, very simply cooked. Just get under it and we're just gonna flip it, okay? Just leave it for a second. Then we go to our lovely chili sauce. Simply just put a nice little pile like that. Gorgeous. You can just run your spoon just down it like that. And that egg, I'll just cook nicely, you know, just so it's kind of oozing. So I'll stab it with a fork, give it a little push. Come on, yes, you know it. Bacon on top. Maybe take a bit of the bacon and kind of crumble it over the top. That is gonna eat so well. Come on, man. Look at that. My twist on French toast. Crumpets rock. Right, let's get in there. I'm salivating. The Parmesan works with the eggs. The chili works with the Parmesan. Everything just links. So good, so easy, and so much fun to make. Enjoy. Let's kick off our family superfood day in the kitchen with the most important meal of the day. It's breakfast time, guys. And getting protein in your diet for breakfast is so important. And one of the best and most readily available is the lovely little free-range egg. And of course, you can do so many things with it. If you think making breakfast takes ages, think again. It'll take you 10 minutes, and it's a scrumptious way to start your family's day. One of the things I've struggled with for many years, if I'm just honest, is the poached egg. Yes, I can do it, but it was kind of like playing with me. It was sort of like some were good, some were okay, some were bad, and it was quite frustrating. And then I came up with this little hack, this little tip that made every single one perfect. So let me let you into a lovely world of the magic poached egg that never goes wrong. Check this out. You get yourself some cling film, you create these little pouches, and then of course, you can flavor them with different things. Lovely shaved mushrooms, tiny bit of truffle oil. You've got little bits of tapenade in there, all these kind of flavors that you have around the house. You can take really fiery harissa, and of course the flavor cooks into the egg. So I wanna show you one of my favorites today. Get yourself a little bowl or cup. Get yourself some non-PVC cling film and lay out a little sheet like this. So then we need to have a nice little drizzle of olive oil, so I can create a non-stick surface. Then I'm going to lay this little sheet into our cup, and you can just use your hand and let it sort of sag in. Now, one of the things I love is smoked salmon. Just 10 grams will give you extraordinary flavour. So tear up little pieces, and you can buddy it up with stuff. So I'm a kind of a little bit nuts about chili, so I just put a few little slithers in here, and then some herbs if you want. I've got some chives here. So at this point, get yourself a nice free-range egg, and I'm just going to crack this in. And over the years, with the improvement of farming and feed, eggs have actually got more and more nutritious with the feed that they eat. So it's a good thing. Now, make a pouch by pulling up the cling film and squeezing out the air. Then twist and tie up. Simple. Just reminds me of making water bombs when I was a kid, but this time with gorgeous, tasty, lovely things in it. So there you go. It couldn't be simpler to cook. Just stick them into a pan of simmering water for about 6 or 7 minutes for a lovely runny yolk, or longer if you like it harder. What I do want to do is use the heat from that to steam some spinach. I love having this, and of course, just having eggs on its own, as lovely as it is not a balanced, fully nutritious meal, and that's what I want to give you in superfoods. So I'm just going to rip up 80 grams of lovely spinach, and you can put the lid on top, and that'll wilt in a minute and a half. So then we've got veg, protein, and then I'm going to use beautiful bread for the carbohydrates. A really important thing that we need to do is we're not eating enough fibre as a nation. Studies have shown that high fibre diets are associated with a decreased risk from some cancers. So a really easy trade-up is from white bread to brown. Cut yourself a lovely thick slice, and by the time it takes to toast, your spinach will be done. I think we can have a little feel of our eggs. It's feeling nice, so that can come out now. That should be beautiful and soft in the middle. Top off the toast with a heaped teaspoon of cream cheese. It's delicious and got less saturated fat than butter, a definite bonus for a healthy heart. Hit the spinach with lemon juice and add a little salt and pepper. You can just sort of hug it a little bit to get rid of any excess moisture. Whack that on the toast. And now the moment of truth. Cut the knot off, pop the egg onto the toast, remove the cling film, and there you have a perfect magic poached egg, flavoured to your liking. Get your knife in there, and hopefully, yes. And you've got a mouth-watering, beautifully balanced breakfast with less than 300 calories a portion and 1 of your 5 fruit and veg a day. Look at that, come on. Guys, what are you waiting for? Magic poached eggs. How would you do it? Balance it up, get that superfood vibe going in the morning, set the day up right. Boom. Happy days.